Hello, I'm Martin Smith and this is your MaxiForex Week in Review. Today we'll cover some of the major events of the past week and discuss how they impact the global currency markets. The US dollar rose slightly last Monday against other major currencies on news that North Korean leader Kim Jong had died, but then declined for the third week in the last 4 weeks on decreased demand for safe haven assets. Economic data coming out from the USA signal that the economy's expansion might stand up against slowing growth in Europe as leaders in the Eurozone seek to address the region's debt crisis. Data coming out of the USA indicated that durable goods orders rose in November by the most in 4 months, helping to offset weaker than forecast consumer spending. The euro traded mixed against the US dollar last week as the European Central Bank helped to guarantee funding for the financial system for the Eurozone in 2012 with 3-year bank loans. The French GDP grew at a slower pace than previously estimated, heightening concern about the struggling European economy. The euro was last trading against the US dollar at around 130.44, which is a decrease of minus 0.04%. The British pound traded mixed last week against the US dollar as data indicated an improving US economy, causing investors to turn to investments perceived as higher risk. The British pound was last trading against the US dollar at the level of 155.84, a decrease of minus 0.59%. The Canadian dollar showed its biggest gain in 3 weeks on economic reports that the recovery may be gaining momentum in Canada and the US. The Canadian dollar increased against most of its major counterparts, as crude oil, Canada's biggest export, advanced the most in 3 weeks. The Canadian dollar was last seen trading at the 102.01 level with a decrease of minus 0.03%. Crude oil rose with its biggest weekly gain in 2 months on economic reports coming out of the USA, signaling an increase in oil consumption. There's increased speculation that the price of crude oil may rise on possible further sanctions by the European Union and the USA, aiming to pressure Iran to abandon its suspected nuclear weapons program. Crude oil was trading at 99.68 last Friday, an increase of 0.15%. Well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you've enjoyed this week's review and you'll join us next week. Until then, be sure to visit us at MaxiForex.ru.